What is up, guys? Python here, back with another video. Much better tonight. The New York Mets win this game 8-4 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Wait, I just realized the Rangers and Mets both won 8-4 tonight. Wait, that's actually kind of weird. But nevertheless, the Mets won this game 8-4 against the Phillies. A lot better tonight, offensively and pitching wise, and a little pitching wise, but a lot different of a story tonight for the Mets, the Metropolitans. So really great stuff from them. Speaking of great stuff, let's talk about Fade Grips. Fade Grips, you could click the link in the description and grab some. Get grips for your controller, just like this, for any console that you're on. Get it for Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, Nintendo Switch. Get it for whatever. Get yourself some shirts, hoodies, snapbacks from them, controller cases, whatever you want from them. Use code Python with the link in the description to save yourself 20% off. And while you're going down there, might as well follow me on Twitter, because I do ask at the end of games for questions and or thoughts for the game, whichever game it is from that night. I do ask for those. And also, be sure to click the like button and subscribe, as well as turn your notification bell on, because it does come a long way in me continuing to make these videos, and it comes a long way because I know that you guys then are enjoying it and we're growing here then on the channel. So I do appreciate if you do all those things. So when it comes to this game, like I said, night and day difference to an extent. Things got shaky at the end. The bullpen always gets shaky with this team. Come on, we know this. We're no stranger to this. There may be new ownership involved with the Mets, but Mets baseball will never change when it comes to the bullpen, it seems like, because every single time they have to give you just the biggest heart attack, and just they never can make it easy. They never can make it easy, but everyone at the end of this game, I know I felt for every Met fan when I did it, just that huge sigh of relief at the end of the game that they won. Nobody was jumping up off their couch like, yeah, first win of the season. Everyone stayed sitting down and just went, because they know that this game, we are lucky that we came out with a W in this game. In the first inning, bats were quiet for the Mets, but the Mets defense looked great early on. A double play, the defense just made it look so easy, that double play. Lindor, we are so lucky to have a guy like that defensively. Hopefully the bat comes alive a little soon, which we'll get to in a bit. But defensively, night and day difference from any shortstop, at least that I can remember. I mean, Jose Reyes, but Lindor, just, oh my God, he is miles, not even close. It's not even close how much better he is than Rosario, Jimenez. Who else would we be throwing out there at short over recent years before them? Ruben Tejada, Omar Quintanilla, just all these guys, so much better than, he's so much better than all of them. Makes it look easy. And then second inning, Alonso gets a double on the first pitch for the first extra base hit of the season for the Mets this year. Mets, in my opinion, weren't working the pitch count enough at that point, and it kind of got a little bit better when you got to like Guillorme, who's been, hey, hit 22 pitch at bat. He knows how to work a pitch count. Nimmo knows how to work a pitch count. So you had those guys in the lineup to help out a little bit with that, although Nimmo led off tonight and didn't really work the pitch count too much, at least at the start of the game. Davis ends up getting hit by the pitch and has to leave the game, and then Guillorme comes in, which sucked to see. Thankfully, the x-rays were negative on that, so nothing severely wrong with Davis. I'd expect Guillorme, though, to play tomorrow, just to give Davis still a little bit of healing time on that front. And then McNeil came up. He got out. He looks a little off to me lately. He's swinging at these bad pitches in the dirt. He's not patient at all, which, believe me, we know McNeil is not patient. He's always up there swinging first pitch. We know he's not a patient guy up there at the dish, but he's got to be a little bit more patient. He showed that a little improvement last year, but I do like him lower in the lineup because he doesn't have that patience. He gets way more RBI opportunities with guys like Smith hitting in front of him, Davis. You got Alonso hitting in front of him, Lindor. He gets way more RBI opportunities that way, and I feel like it's a perfect spot for him. He just has to get his way out of this. Then McCann grounds out and leaves the runner stranded. In that same inning, then on the flip side, Lindor is a little slow to field the ground ball by Real Muto. Real Muto ends up beating that out. Real Muto is the best catcher in baseball. Lindor, the broadcast said it. He's got to realize this is a guy that you're going to be facing a lot during the season. You got to be able to beat him out. He is the fastest catcher in baseball also. He's the best catcher for a reason, at least in my opinion. I know usually it's Grandal or Real Muto, but to me, with how valuable Real Muto is with his speed, with his defense, offense, I wish the Mets were able to get him. Don't get me wrong, I love James McCann, but Real Muto is on a whole different planet. He is just that good at catcher, and yeah, he's fast also, so Lindor did not take that into consideration, and that ends up leading to a hit for Real Muto. Stroman ends up hitting Quinn to load up the bases, and things got a little shaky there, but luckily Stroman escapes that jam with forcing a ground out. Third inning, Nimmo draws a walk from a 1-2 count. That's where I talked about that plate discipline and that patience coming in. That patience coming in that we've seen from Nimmo all the time ever since he's came up. And that's one thing that when Nimmo first came up, I was always a guy that believed in him. I was someone that's like, hey, this guy's got a great eye. If he could just learn to be able to put the ball in play often, perfect leadoff guy in your lineup. And I'm glad that they put him in the leadoff spot tonight. Then Lindor ends up getting a ground out. It looked like a double play at first, but then he ended up being safe after a challenge. Luis Rojas a little aggressive with the challenges, and I liked it, though, because last year there were so many times where he could have challenged plays, but that would have went the other way, but he's like, nah, we're not going to do that. Although he did overmanage this game, which we will get into. He is concerning to me. Listen, I know he's a rookie manager when it comes to the National League because completely different circumstances than last year. You got to deal with the pitcher hitting. Your bullpen, you're managing a little differently because of it. It's a whole different ball game this year, but you got to be a little bit smarter than this, and it's a little worrisome here. Stroman was keeping the pitch count low at this point, which was really good. I thought he kept it relatively low all game. Fourth inning comes around. Alonso ends up drawing a walk. Smith then gets his 2-run home run for the Mets' first home run of the season. That high cheese, he's able to turn on that, get that perfect launch angle, and knocks it out of here to left field. And the broadcast said it last year, all of his home runs were either to center or to right field. He never hit the ball to left field last year. And ironic enough, on his first home run of the season, he hits it opposite field. Isn't that ironic stuff? Guillorme then flies out, but works the pitch count a little bit. That's where I talked about that plate patiency. Where is that a word? Where he showed patience at the plate. There we go. But he was working the pitch count up, which you need to do because this Phillies bullpen is not the best. At the beginning of the season, yes, they have looked a lot better than we've seen them lately, but it's still the Phillies bullpen at the end of the day. Philly fans still talk about how the bullpen is worrisome for them, so you got to be able to get to that bullpen early. Then, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, McNeil continues to show struggles at the dish, and I'm just worried about him. I'm worried about McNeil. He's probably gonna end up getting the day off tomorrow because he hasn't got a hit. I know it's early to say, hey, he's in a big slump and everything, but it's getting a little alarming that he hasn't even got on base yet. I don't remember if he got a walk in the first game, but it's a little bit concerning that, well, he did end up walking tonight. What am I saying? But a little concerning that he is not hitting like he would last year. Stroman then, on the pitching side, throws absolute filth to get Real Muto out. Stroman's stuff was great tonight. He had everything going for him. That fastball was just... This is what happens when you watch Jacob deGrom's bullpen sessions, huh? And then, although Didi then hits a home run dead center on a good low pitch from Stroman, so that's not even his fault, in my opinion. Just really, really great hitting by Gregorius. Hits that dead center field. That's one where you got to give the hitter credit for having a good eye and getting that one out of the ballpark. Fifth inning, nothing really happened there. So then we go to the sixth inning. Conforto got robbed of a walk, in my opinion. The umpire, I said, thank God we had a different guy behind the dish. He was just as bad. I mean, so many inside pitches were miscalled all game long, and it was just so frustrating to watch. Hopefully at Citi Field, when we get back there, they're going to have a different umpiring crew, because this umpiring crew, it's probably the same one, is so brutal. Clearly a brutal crew there. Stroman was not pulled, by the way, at 77 pitches at this point, which I was shocked, because I know the whole thing where, it's still the sixth inning, that's why. But to me, a pitch count's a pitch count, and deGrom was far better than Stroman. Don't get me wrong, Stroman was great tonight. The fact that he gave you 6 innings tonight was huge. That's where I said that's the most we were getting from him tonight, and he did that. He did a great job getting us 6 innings, but deGrom was just on another level opening night, and I don't think anyone could argue that at all. I mean, even Philly fans were impressed with the way deGrom performed and admit that, hey, this guy's one of the best. He's the best pitcher in baseball. But besides the point, I was shocked that he wasn't out, but I can't complain at the same time, because the bullpen is that garbage. It's that garbage. And then Alonso plays great defense to get out Gregorius in that 6th inning. 7th inning, then we got a lot of action for this one. Both Mets at bat and both Mets batting and the pitching side of things. Guillorme draws a walk, and then I wrote McNeil looks like shit, because he wasn't looking too great all game. So I kept writing that, thinking, hey, I haven't wrote this before, but just reminding myself to write it again. Then McCann draws a walk. You got runners on first and second. Pilar walks to load the bases up. Nimmo then walks for a run. And then Lindor with his first RBI as a Met on a sacrifice fly. Would have been cool to see him get a base hit there. But a sac fly will do. It's runs. So I can't complain about that. Then Pilar comes in on an overthrow to second on a Nimmo pickoff. Attempt, so that extends the lead for the Mets up to 4-1 at this point, I do believe. Or am I just going crazy? Yeah, 4-1 at this point. And then you have Conforto get an RBI double to right field, and the Mets go up, or did it? I don't know. I'm all over the place. The Mets and the Rangers both being on at the same time. Please, scheduling, just... I hope there's not many games like this. I haven't looked when else there is, but it's just so much easier to focus on one game at a time, damn it. But that's besides the point. Mets end up going up in the game. They add runs, and I believe they were up 6-1 at that point. 6-1. There we go. I could figure it out here. And then Stroman goes out for Castro. Castro, who looked great in this first game, ends up letting up an RBI single though to Hoskins. Things looked shaky, and Rojas kept them in for Bryce Harper, which was really, I don't know. This is where I'm getting worried with Rojas, because there was so many situations where he was not getting guys up in the bullpen in time. You got up Castro later on. Familia ended up coming into the game, but he wasn't even warming up the previous inning. It was all Diaz warming up, and it was expected. No. In situations like that, you got to be able to get your guys going no matter what. To me, you get your guys going in case a situation comes up. You get Loop up in case Harper does end up coming to the plate that inning. You get Familia up in case the Mets expand the lead in the 9th inning. ended up happening, both of them. But he escaped the jam, like I said, with the pop out from Harper. 8th inning, Castro goes out. May comes in, which was, again, another confusing thing where May pitched so much last game. I was surprised he came in, but really great night for him to get out of a jam. Really great night. He ended up walking off, celebrating like crazy. I love that energy. I love that energy from pitchers when they do that, and they show that energy. But he got out of that jam. Miller was not happy with one of the calls on the pitches. Guillaume made a great play defensively. He just couldn't gun out Gregorius, but it was still a great barehanded play. He tried gunning him out. And then someone on Twitter said, shout out to Dylan. I'm pretty sure it was him. I don't know his exact but shout out to him. He ended up saying that was like Mahomes in the Super Bowl this year. I'm like, yeah, it was. 9th inning then, Pete Alonso gets his 2-run shot. And this is when 2 outs, and that's where Familia was not up and ready to go in time. And that may have had to do with why Familia was that bad tonight. But thankfully, barely, but the Mets make it out and win this game 8-4. Great game for Stroman. Great game for the offense, except for McNeil, like I said. A little concerning on that front. But in terms of where the Mets go from here, you don't have May available next game. That's for damn sure. Castro's not going to be available. So for next game, you're going to have to probably I wouldn't use Familia either next game. So you're going to have then, you're going to have Betances available. You'll have Loop available for sure, since he didn't end up coming to the game and he was going to be available. Diaz is definitely ready to go. I'm sure he was eager to come into this game. I'm sure he was honestly hoping Diaz was going to give a safe situation, or Familia was going to set up a safe situation for him so he could come into the game. I don't know if I mentioned Gazelman. He'll be available, but Lucchese's definitely going to be available. You have a couple guys that will be available next game. So I guess that's a good thing with May coming into this game, is that you didn't end up using then Familia that inning, and then you probably would have used Betances later on, and it just saved a couple arms in the bullpen. So I guess it is a little bit better looking at it from that front with the May situation, but May is going to need at least a day or two off now. But other than that, great win, first of the season. Let's hope they keep this up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everyone.